Hello, I know this is not a normal video for me, but I recently discovered using Reddit a lot. I mean, I've always known about Reddit, but I've never actually used it before, so this is essentially my first time doing so. But I found a particular post. I wanted to make a Reddit video, like all about a lot of posts, but I found one that was very, very long, and I think it deserves its own video. For the sake of the rest of the video, I will be using my American accent because it's a lot easier for people to understand a lot of the words I'm going to say, so yeah, that's that. For anyone curious, it will sound like this. So I think we should just hop into it, I suppose, because it's quite the doozy. Oh yeah, last year I went to take the IQ test at the community college, and my IQ is 180. Not sure if that is high or low. It's probably low, isn't it? Cool, that's high. So how are you today? I hate school. I would bet the differ 5 years ago, when I made this list. Ever since I had stopped drinking, the geek in me came out. I love learning new things. It gives me the same feeling as eating delicious food, which, to me, this seems very strange, considering I don't think you can really equate learning information to eating food. I mean, eating food is just eating food, really. You get the satisfaction of having something delicious. I mean, it's not really the same as learning, which gives you satisfaction due to the reward factor. You've been studying maybe for years, possibly, and then after you've studied for years, you begin to retain that information, and that is the satisfaction of it all, because yay, I learned things. I mean, really remembered things, but that's what life is all about, just remembering things all the time. So I think you can't really equate the two, at least not properly, and I can't get enough of it. It's quite addicting for me sometime. I don't sleep for 5 or 6 days just so that I can gather more information. However, this person clearly wasn't that intelligent, seeing as not sleeping for that period of time would actually hinder your ability to learn, as opposed to, allow you to learn more, even if it's just in one sitting. It would be better to spread all of that information out so that you're not clogging your brain, preventing your brain from unclogging itself, and cramming your brain with information. The first and third point I just made are the same thing, so clearly I'm just as intelligent as this person. Oh yes, I forgot, if you are free, try reading Very Pure and Ambiguous, the prequel. I have no clue what that book is. I'm not even sure if it's a real book, but, they say it's a very good read, and they're obviously very intelligent people, so you should definitely start reading that, because who doesn't want to read something that a person who can hardly spell is suggesting to you? I mean, this guy's as great as it gets. I mean, come on. But just read volume 1, after that it gets weird. I promise, it's very good. After all, I have read over 5,000 stories, and that was something that really sparked me, because how in absolute world are you going to be able to remember 5,000 stories? 5,000 total stories that you've read in your entire life. You definitely remember that. If you give the benefit of the doubt that this person would just be rounding, the amount of stories that they've read, but it seems strange that they would particularly choose 5,000, and why not 4,000, 3,000, whatever. I guess I could make the same point for whatever number that they chose. But could have easily just said, thousands of stories or maybe hundreds of stories, and it would have made pretty much the same point. You could have just said even 10 stories and you still would have gotten your point across that, hey, this is a really good book and I think that you should actually read this. And this one is one of the best stories I've read so far. Yes, of all 5,000 stories, this one is objectively the best. Or maybe, this person means subjectively, but even still, that means that they are saying across all aspects, just totally in general, this book is the best one that I have ever read. And I'm sure that a lot of people will say that because, well, that's the best way to sum up what kind of book you find the best. But there are also a lot of different categories for determining what the best book is. So, that's kind of hard to dispute, but also claim. Well, bye. And then this person says goodbye. So that's it. That's all that needs to be said. At least one would hope. Also, for the last 10 years, every girl that I have ever met had to meet your same standards that you set. Sadly, no one could ever meet them. So this person is talking about themselves. They're saying, hey, I have all these standards. They have to be specifically this. They have to be exactly this. The same standards. And if you don't meet those standards, well, you're out of luck. Get out of here. I don't like you. So, I'm sure that this person is just so intelligent that it's not only their significant other, it's also their friends. Their friends have to be, to some degree, intelligent. They have to have at least 140 IQ to even be within range of him. Not just in range of his intelligence, but in physical range. He won't even allow them to be near him if their IQ isn't at least 140. So, I stayed single for those years, only doing research on everything. Yes, I'm sure that in the many years that he was single and the many more to come, he will just be doing research. That's all. Nothing else. He won't go out, have food. He won't, hang out with any friends. Like I said, he can't find any friends because they have to have 140 IQ or he won't even be near them. He won't even party because, well, why party? Those are for low IQ losers. Those are for people with less than 140 IQ. So of course he's not going to party because he'll just find a bunch of losers out there. But if you ever read this, you have to know that I have loved you for 10 years of my lifetime and no one had ever replaced you in my heart. Even if you hate me, I will always love you. Even if that just means being friends, I will always be there for you, and only you, love. Now we're getting into, I don't know, some kind of creepy messages. This isn't exactly the most endearing message possible, considering you sent 2 long messages beforehand, didn't let the person reply. Actually, it's clear that the person just didn't want to reply. This person is clearly just bragging about a lot of things that obviously aren't true, and it's definitely very clear as to why the person hasn't responded. Well, if I ever die, I live to you my greatest accomplishment in life, whatever that might be. Now, I'm not even sure what this is supposed to mean. I live to you? Maybe this person means I live for you, which would make a lot more sense, considering I don't think lived to you would really make much sense at all, actually, in any context. And then it goes on even further, though thankfully it's not completely, but semi-cropped out, but I'll read what I can. Today, I feel like I had lived too long knowing too much of everything. It's a burden. It's a burden, and having the ability to predict things is annoying. A burden as well. Man, this person is so very intelligent that they couldn't form a cohesive sentence in English, presumably their native language. I mean, what more can you even ask for? When a person is so intelligent that they can't even formulate a proper sentence, that's how you know they've ascended. They're not on this plane anymore. They've ascended. They've become a deity themselves. No, they've ascended beyond the deities. This person has truly exemplified what it means to have a 180 IQ. This person has been able to ace every single test that he's ever taken in his entire life, all because of that 180 IQ. This man has been able to predict the future. He knew. He was alive before World War II happened. He knew, because guess what? This man is so intelligent, he could time travel. He was able to ascend beyond time itself and time travel. He can manipulate space. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what a 180 IQ can do for you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and whomever else, that is all that I have. I just kind of wanted to read this out because I am kind of new to Reddit, and I didn't really know what else to do for a video. I don't want to wait another 2 years before I upload my next song, so hopefully you've enjoyed this, and that is all. Goodbye. This is an afterthought, but please feel free to check out my other videos. I upload music to this channel all the time. It's the music that you heard in the background. Also, it was really difficult to read some of this because the grammar was absolutely awful, and I'm not used to reading grammar that horrible. But hopefully you enjoyed anyway, and goodbye.